What's happening, everyone? Nicky Hawkins here. The morning after the game before England 2, Germany 0. England through to the quarterfinals, of course. And I'm going to do a couple of videos on this because I want to go through the game, but also there's another moment in the game, well, the end of the game actually, that's got me quite riled up actually. But I'll do this one first. What can I say? A vintage performance? No. Good enough? Yes. And when you look at the games against Croatia and Czech Republic and what they've gone on to do, with Croatia giving Spain a really good game and looking full of attacking intent. Same with Czech Republic knocking out Holland and going through to the quarterfinals themselves. It starts to make poor England performances look a lot better. And look, don't get me wrong, we didn't start the game well yesterday. We couldn't get a shape. We was giving the ball away cheaply. The Germans were hounding us. But what we did do, and what we have done throughout this tournament, and it's ironic really, because everything has been hanging and been sort of focused on our attacking attempt, but defensively we were really good. And I still can't work out whether that was just Germany were bad. Now, you can't keep on saying these teams were bad because, as I say, we nullified Croatia, didn't give them a sniff at goal, and they went on to score 3 against Spain. We did the same against the Czech Republic, didn't really give them a sniff at goal, and they've gone on and scored 2 against Holland. Scotland was poor, let's be fair. I think the nerves got the best of them. But then we went against Germany, and yeah, they had a couple of decent chances, as you would expect Germany to have. But I'll bring it back to our boy Declan Rice. Absolutely bossed Tony Cruz, one of the best midfielders in the world. Maybe not now, but in his day he definitely was. He's the heartbeat. Him and Goretzka are the heartbeat in that German midfield, and they was getting the better of the two of them. Phillips, I thought, couldn't get into the game in the first sort of like half an hour. But after that, totally in control. Bossed it. Werner's chance. Werner's doing Werner things, you know what I mean? Oh, sugar. Sorry about that. Werner's doing Werner things, you know what I mean? So, I'm going to leave that in, by the way. Missing chances. Pickford, brilliant again. Absolutely brilliant. Pickford, and I was one of the people in, saying that I wasn't too confident with Pickford, but he kept that Werner chance out well, and then afterwards, I would class it as a world-class tip over. I know it was straight at him, but it was hard, and it was easy for one of them ones, nice strong hand to tip it over the bar from Havertz. It's easy for them ones to come off the tips of your fingers and go in the roof of the net. It was flying in. It was going at him at some speed and a bit unsighted and all that. So you've got to give him huge props to him. Maguire was excellent. I thought Maguire was excellent. I thought the two midfielders really bossed the game in the end. Deck got a yellow card, I think, a bit unfairly, in the build-up to the first sort of 15 minutes of the build-up to a chance that Germany had a free kick, where the German player that used a bit of experience got his leg across him. I don't think there was too much in that, but for someone that's playing that sort of role, that breaking up the midfield role, to be on a yellow card so early and to go on and dominate the game like they did in the midfield later on in the game. Look, put some respect on that boy's name. You know what I mean? Like, every time, he's one of them players, and I suppose I'm a little bit guilty of it with Kane as well, which I'll speak about Kane in a second. But he's one of them players that, as soon as he has a bad game, the hate has come out, because there's been so much hate about him. I think because he plays for West Ham, because he's taken sort of Henderson's position in the midfield. And he gets a lot of stick as soon as he has a bad game. And look, I'm a West Ham fan. I watch him week in, week out. The boy's world class. You know what I mean? Or he's on his way to being world class. But as soon as he has a bad game, people are all over him like a rash. Like when I spoke about the Germany game, I didn't mention him. He was poor in the Germany game, but it's one of the few instances where he has been poor. Put some respect on that boy's name, man, because listen, he's a top player, and I'm sick and tired of seeing him being sort of hounded every time England have a bad performance. And I think that's what we do in this country, press and all of that sort of thing. Is we get on their backs like Southgate, you know. Look, no matter what you think about Southgate's tactics, Portugal in the last tournament when they won it, they weren't great, but we're the only team that ain't conceded a goal. We're the only team. We're starting to score goals now. Sterling again, brilliant. He deserves to keep his place. I thought Saka was really good as well. Kane was poor until he got the goal, and I think, you know, a player like him, he needs a bit of confidence, and I think that's going to give him the hugest confidence. But I'm well over the moon about that. And the bit I want to speak about next, in the next video, which I'm going to upload straight after this one, I'm going to do 2 videos about it because I didn't want to take up too much time with this one, is the German girl crying at the end of the game, and the focus on her and all of that sort of thing. But no, look, I'm more than pleased with that. I think we've got a good chance going to the final. We're playing Ukraine. Obviously, we see Ukraine playing a little bit later. Yarmolenko's side, he turns into like a superstar when he plays for them, doesn't he? But Yarmolenko's side beating Sweden, who are highly fancied, 2-1. They got the first goal. Sweden had a few good chances before they ended up getting a man sent off. I think that was a bit harsh, to be honest with you, but it is what it is, and you got to just roll with the punches. But we play the Ukraine in Rome, and if we can get through that, and I'm not taking anything, and I mean anything, for granted, you know, you've got to look then at the semi-finals and final at being at Wembley, and it gives us a huge advantage. The fans yesterday, I mean, Jesus, I've watched the highlights, and that 45,000 half capacity, which is massive for, you know, for football, for sport, for the world, really. And then you go over to like Glasgow, where the other semi-final was, and they're still like in mad restrictions and like no crowd there. But it was beating the Germans. We haven't beaten Germany in open play since 1966. Oh no, we did actually. We beat him in Euro 2000. Scrap that. We haven't beaten Germany in the knockout phase of a tournament in open play, even before 1966, because that went to extra time. So normal time, dispatched to the Germans quite comfortably as well. And we move on to the next one. Got to fancy England now. Got to fancy England. I don't want to get too carried away, because I've seen us lose to Iceland and things like that, you know what I mean? And you have to respect your opponents and that. But it is what it is. We're through to the next round. The Germans are out. The French are out. The Portuguese are out. It's starting to wind up nicely for England. We've got to take advantage. We said this in the World Cup. Never going to have a better chance. But I think this is even better. Anyway, thank you. Come on, you Lions.